Welcome to the Monday Morning Jumpstart. Hi, my name is Rory Peters, and I'm the founder and CEO of Rory Peters International, as well as the Grow Your Business Like You Mean It live event. I'm a speaker, a sales and leadership trainer, and the author of Sell Like You Mean It. In this video, we're going to take a look at step one of the four-step process on how to set goals. So in this video, the focus is on defining what is it that you want. Now, we talked about the fact that there are four steps to setting goals. Defining what you want, writing your goals down, reading your goals every day, and then taking some kind of action towards your goals every day. So those are the four main steps. So the first step is what we're focusing on this week, which is defining exactly what you want. If I were to poll 100 people, as I said in the last video, 80 of them wouldn't be able to tell me exactly what they want, because most people don't think about it. We've never been taught or trained to take a look at what we truly want. Not only what we want now, what do we want a month from now? What do we want a year from now? How about 5 years from now? Back when I was first developing the skills that I'm sharing with you guys now, I had no future vision, absolutely none. My commission at the time was paid on a weekly basis. Therefore, my focus was that week. Every time I came into work on Monday morning, my focus was putting a paycheck together by the end of that week. And the following Monday, I'd start over again. I hardly ever looked past that week. I had trouble even envisioning that I should be focusing somewhere down the road. It just didn't dawn on me. And when I even tried to do it a little bit, it was like impossible. I couldn't even think about how to do it, and I just gave up on it. That, unfortunately, was not a good plan. Now, this day, I have no problems focusing on what I want and what my goals are all the way up until I'm 70 years old. In case you're wondering, that's still a long way off. But I know what I want between now and then. I know what my focus is, and I know what I'm going to try to achieve. And I even have some idea what I want to do after that. But I have a solid vision of what I want. I know what it is that I want. Now, that's something that took practice. That wasn't something that came natural. And I'm guessing that for most of you, it's not something that comes natural either. So part of the process of really become effective at goal setting is to sit down and define what you want. Now, one of the best ways to do that, and this is for a lot of things in your life, is to write down a large list. It doesn't even have to be practical. Just start writing things that you'd like. Matter of fact, what you might want to do is write until you've written down 50 things, 50 goals you'd like to accomplish. Personal goals, financial goals, educational goals, fitness goals, traveling goals, whatever they might be, relationships, etc. Just start writing and don't stop till you've got 50 different things. Then you can go through that list and start focusing on the ones that you really want. So you could say, take a look at it, look at your top 10. What are the 10 most important goals to you? And then once you broke it down to 10, start one at a time. Look at the one you consider to be number one. What is the one thing you'd really like to accomplish? Now, one of the key things here, all right, is to dream big. Once again, we've all been taught to be practical. You know, when you're in school, we should be doctors and lawyers. Do something practical. Don't become an actor or a singer or a photographer or anything that really is a long shot. Do something that's practical, that you could have a solid paycheck, solid career, etc. That's what we were taught. And that's how we dream. But when you're setting these goals, let it go. Let your imagination fly. What is it you really want? And even if we're talking about in your career, maybe you've got an idea now that you're sitting around of what you'd like to accomplish in your career. Don't shoot, for example, a 5% increase in your income. Why not 20? Why not 50? I've told you in other videos, including the first one here, that I shot for a 50% increase in pay and got it. So anything is possible. Don't dream small. Dream big. Think about what you really want. Not what you think maybe you have a shot of accomplishing. If you're going to achieve what you want in your life, you've got to define what that is. Not what you think you can do, but what you really, really want. Michelangelo said that the biggest challenge for most of us is not setting our aim too high and falling short. It's setting our aim too low and hitting the mark. In other words, if we'd really like to own a company, but we really set our goal at getting employed there. Or we'd really like to be an actor, but we set our goal at, maybe reading about some acting books or maybe taking the acting class. It's about defining what you really want. See, if you set your goal low and you hit the mark, then you're kind of stuck with that because it isn't really what you want. It's just something you thought that you probably had a shot at obtaining. What fun is that? The joy of this process is in setting a goal that's beyond your grasp, that you don't know that you can actually do, but it's something you really like to accomplish, and then actually accomplishing it. And even if you don't accomplish it, giving 100% towards that goal, knowing that you did everything you could to try to accomplish it. And maybe that one was out of reach. That's possible. I mean, when I ran for student council president when I was in college, that was way out of reach. I mean, I wasn't even on the student council. Nobody knew who I was. But I wanted the student body to vote for me. And I worked my tail off to try to get that to happen. Spent 3 weeks campaigning solidly, giving speeches, doing everything I could do to get elected. And the fact was, I didn't win. Didn't win the election. But I came close. And the cool thing was, I gave 100%. And even though I didn't make the mark, that journey of giving 100% towards something I really wanted, something that was actually, I believe at the time, probably out of my reach, was really cool. Because when I found out that I didn't make it, that I lost the election, I was actually 100% okay with that. I said to myself, you know what? It just wasn't meant to be, but you gave it everything you had. That's pretty cool. And I felt good about it. And that was the first time I'd ever done that. So a lot of times, it's not the end result, it's the journey. And maybe if you want to achieve a 50% income and pay, and you don't quite get there, maybe you only get to 35%. Well, that's pretty good. I don't think you're going to complain if you hit 35% increase in pay rather than 50. But it's that journey. It's going for it, giving 100%, setting your sights on what you want and going for it. So define what you want and don't be meek about it. Define what you really want. Now, once you've realized what you really want, make sure that it is measurable. Your goals have to be measurable. In other words, saying that I'd like to make more money this year. Well, here's $1. That probably wasn't what you had in mind. Saying I want to have a 25, 30, 50% increase in pay. Or I want to make $20,000 or $50,000 more this year than I made last year. Right? If you say I want to make $50,000 more, that is a measurable goal. You will know at the end of the year when you look at your W-2 whether you hit that mark or not. But just saying I want to make more money, or I want to drive a nice car, or I want to live in a nice house. What kind of house? Where's the house located? How many bedrooms does it have? How many bathrooms? Is there a basement? If so, is it fixed up? What amenities come with it? Is there a pool? Is there a waterfall? What kind of amenities come with it? Define it. For example, my dream house, okay, 4 bedrooms, has a game room. The game room has a 9-foot, 3-piece slate pool table. I want a pool in the backyard with a waterfall dropping into the pool. That's the house. All right, now I could get more specific in that, but I'm getting pretty specific. I'm not saying I just want a nice house. Make it measurable. So when you hit that goal, you know you did because you've got a measurable value here. If you say a car, what car? Not a nice car. Nice car is different to different people. To some people, maybe a Volkswagen Rabbit is a nice car. Or a Ford Focus is a really nice car. And others, of course, a Mercedes is a really nice car. So what is that nice car to you? What is it that you really want? Be specific. So the first thing is to define exactly what you want. Make sure it's measurable and assign a date to it. When do you want to accomplish this by? Do you want to accomplish it by the end of the year? Is it a month from now? Is it 5 years from now? When do you want to accomplish this goal? If it's a retirement goal, it's going to be quite a ways down the road. If it's an income goal, it might be just till the end of this year or maybe the next couple months. Give it a date. Now you may be saying to yourself, well, what if I assign a date to it, I don't make it by then? Then I failed. No, that's not failure. You picked a date based on the best information you had at that time. The information was incorrect, set a new date. Remember, it's the journey. Are you giving 100% towards the attainment of that goal? Well, if you are, and it just wasn't attainable by the time frame that you set for, that's okay. You've got more information now. You've got better information. What now would you think would be a more accurate date to set that goal for? See, all of this is about defining what you really want and going for it. Not just setting the goal and going, there you go, I set the goal. It's not about that. It's about setting the goal and then giving 100% towards the attainment of that goal. And those are the steps that we're going to talk about in weeks 3, 4, and 5. So, your assignment for this week, until we meet again next Monday, is to define exactly what you want. Again, if I were you, I'd sit down and just write anything and everything you can think of, no matter how ridiculous you think it is. Write down every goal you could possibly think of. Just keep writing until you can't think of anything else. And then when you can't think of anything else, keep writing some more. And then once you take a look at that list, pick your top 10. And then once you've got your top 10, pick the one you want to start with and assign that goal. What do you want exactly, and when do you want it by? Make sure that it's measurable. Until then, have a fantastic week, and I'll see you next Monday.